What's good, everybody? Remember 17 here, and today we got ourselves something real cool, something real fun. We have ourselves Charles Oliveira versus Rafael dos Anjos against Martial Mind on UFC 5, and we took away a couple good things from this bout. We were able to kind of see where the reach penalty was working pretty well with Charles Oliveira. A couple things in the grappling that I noted and sent to the devs after the fight. Marshall and I kind of discussed it because we kind of saw something. I don't know if you guys are going to have to pick it up in the video, but an issue that's always been in the UFC 3 and 4 kind of showed up again where we wouldn't like it to be. So we were able to kind of find it in this fight. If you guys can see it, you guys can let me know. But overall, this is a very fun fight. Try to do my best to kind of emulate RDA with kind of what he does. RDA does have a new model, but me personally, I kind of prefer it when he has the mustache. I think he needs to be a little bit darker. The model isn't exactly... Some people like it. Me personally, I'm like, it's alright. It's alright. It's not the best model. So maybe they'll do some tweaking there. Charles' model looks pretty good. And yeah, so we're going to get over and see this fight.
He attempts to get me into a Kimura. I deny it. I enter this heel hook. There's not enough time. I drain him. He tries to escape. I deny it. That would have been G.
Hey, yo. That's just clean. That's just clean, though. So, I think a couple things with this fight, too. It made me realize, well, not realize, it's something I'd been asking for, Marshall's been asking for, but it wasn't able to be done with this game. And you guys are going to see a couple exchanges. I'll bring it up. One thing that a lot of the community would have liked to have gotten added into the game is parries. Now, would it be possible for EA to add parries into this game somewhere in the mid-cycle? I don't necessarily know. I would definitely hope that y'all push for it alongside us, because we definitely tried to the best of our ability, but kind of based on like whatever the information they were getting, people really split on it. But there has to be some type of rule when it comes to parries, to what you'd be able to parry, because if you remember UFC 2, it was very easy to kind of spam the parry button and whatnot. Certain people, again, I'm not a fan of handheld defense. That's not something I like. I like you have to actually being able to time stuff correctly without something being able to do multiple jobs for you. And I would really like for this fight kind of made me realize, even some of the other fights too, it would be really dope if we had a parry system that followed a specific law that was rooted in real life. Now we have Charles walkout looked pretty good. And another thing I had saying that RDA, see, it looks good to an extent, but when he's in the cage, it doesn't look as good as it should. Like here, you see where the lighting's at with RDA, it looks pretty solid. But when it gets into the cage, you'll see it's like a little bit too bright, and I think the lighting is a little bit too high on him. But another thing that we kind of noticed too, or rather that I noticed, is that, well, just a couple things with the offensive details and everything along those lines that really needs to get worked on. But I would really like to see them add some type of implementation of the parry system. I think that's definitely something I really would have liked to see. And of course, the takedowns. The takedowns are definitely going to need some type of buff and increase in GA. I think that needs to change exponentially. I made a video on UFC 4 3 years ago also talking about detaching the check input, or at least disabling the auto checks from leg kicks. That's another thing that we'll see in this bout. But here we go. Rafael dos Anjos versus Charles Oliveira on UFC 5.
What is up? What is up? This is day 3 of me posting EA Sports UFC 5 gameplay. You guys have been amazing. The feedback has been incredible. Keep it coming. Really, really appreciate it. Once again, thanks to EA for allowing me to actually upload this thing.
That was the new... So we have 3 new animations right there. The new lead body hook animation looks pretty good for RDA, rear hook animation, and the body kick animation. So RDA, I was trying to take the role of the pressure fighter, but you guys will see very soon, that cross from Charles Oliveira. This is the build that has his buff. You guys remember after the Justin Gaethje fight, he was supposed to get like a buff, but they weren't really doing moveset buffs at the time for UFC 4. But in this game, he has that buff. And, it made it very difficult to close distance effectively with Rafael dos Anjos, because his reach definitely felt much shorter, and you can really feel that there. new lead hook animation.
With Charles Oliveira and his ability to recover. Of course, there is the fact that his opponents are kind of afraid of him. They're afraid of his jiu-jitsu, so they don't really follow him down. As you see right there, I'm catching the kicks from Romero, and what I'm trying to do is I'm pausing a little bit to see if I can throw him off and then trying to get him down. Just trying multiple different things, because as it stands right now, taking down very good players in the center in the game right now, it's a little bit too difficult, and it's something that we're really trying to have them amend. It's just too easy to deny takedowns, regardless of the level of the takedown artist in the game. It's like, if you know what you're doing on the feet in the center, it's almost impossible to actually get people down.
It's not even a matter of even knowing what to do. It's just too easy. It's way too easy. Low block, guys are going low, high. I'd like to push this idea on y'all in the community. I would like for there to be some type of stamina tax, ever so slightly, when a guy's going up and down with the low block, because that's not something you see a lot of fighters do.
For example, which allows you to recover from stuns and knockdowns a lot quicker.
Yeah, because it makes it way too easy to defend takedowns, especially the auto reversals.
Stamina when you're grappling on the ground. Romero shoots right there, bails, strucks to the back, tries to take me down, but I'm able to deny it. He's doing a good job of working the body as well. Look at that beautiful pivot lunge. He is the only player in this game that I see consistently hitting pivot lunges. No one else does it. And it's not that it's so difficult to do, but man, it requires quite a bit of skill to actually hit those pivot lunges properly. And it's always beautiful when he does it, and it looks really good.
And if you guys want to learn how to do pivot lunges, I'm going to drop a tutorial for UFC 5. I already have them for UFC 4, but y'all know there's going to be some new stuff, and I got to show you how it works.
The head, a lot of options. Right there, he throws that beautiful front kick to the body.
So that's my round there.
Into the leg kick. The way they were just staring at each other as they were backing out right there was really nice.
I'll say this too. One thing I was trying to do is, like, I was watching the Renato Moicano fight, RDA versus Renato Moicano, so I was really trying to land head kicks, body kicks. RDA is a very aggressive southpaw for the most part. He doesn't really fight too much on the outside, doesn't have too much success when he's on the outside, so I really tried, occasionally, it depends on the fighter, but I really tried to, like, pressure because I didn't want to give Oliveira space, but I didn't like that right there. He threw that head kick, whiffed it, and was still able to kind of slide out of range. And because the takedown range is, you need to be so fucking close to get the takedown range, it wasn't an option, even though he had whiffed the kick and his back was exposed to me. And Marshall does a really good job here of getting the takedown. This camera issue has been there since the beta, and this is something that EA needs to fix, because this is going to ruin a lot of grappling exchanges on the ground when the camera changes. He goes to the arm bar, and here we're trying to get into the situation where we're using the struggle mechanic. He denies my fake. I made a mistake there. I didn't fake it properly again. So it's going to, even for myself, it takes a bit of time. But I'm starting to drain his, because he tries to go right there. He drains all his stamina, tries to go back to back sitting, but now I have an advantage. He tries to set up with landing strikes, but when he's landing strikes, it's costing him stamina. And I'm able to use R1 to struggle and drain his stamina. So we're getting back on the audio.
Your opponent at the same time, and if your opponent does not do anything and you get their stamina, the short-term stamina, to zero, you get a free escape. Same thing if you're the guy that's trying to submit the opponent. Right there, he throws a big shot. I'm able to flip him directly into mount. Try to enter another submission.
That was my mistake. So
that
was my mistake.
Now from this triangle, this exchange was a long one. It makes a lot of sense realistically too, because the triangle is a really good camping position. He's trying to escape. I'm holding him right here. I'm denying a little bit. We're struggling a little bit. I try to hit him. He tries to go again. I notice his stamina is lower than mine, so I begin to struggle. I'm struggling. He goes again. I deny it. I keep struggling to drain his stamina completely. I wait a second because I know he's going to try to escape. I deny the escape, and then I go for the triangle choke. He tries to race it, but right there it's a little bit too late. And I
actually tried to fake that. The final transition was a fake. It wasn't it was a fake, but I mistimed the fake, and that's why I got drained as well. It should have like hurt his stamina a little bit more, but I mistimed it. So even with I wonder if it matters between the fighters, like how effective your fake needs to be and when you have to time it, because I had believed that I had timed the fake accordingly, but I guess not, and my arm got snatched for its troubles. But that was a really, really great great little mental warfare there in the triangle position. He's definitely taking this round.
And I would have probably got him out of there. They go to hit him. He's able to get that Kimura trap, flips me over, attempts to enter arm triangle. I deny it and reverse the position, and round 2 is over. Really, really good grappling exchanges right there. I thought that was fun. But what I was saying in regards to the seamless submissions and the struggle and all that, if your opponent is not moving and you begin to struggle and you drain your short-term stamina all the way low to 0, it gives you a free escape. All right, so they got to do something. And typically, the high-level thing to do right now is the moment you notice that they are struggling with you, you can either attempt to lock in the submission and see the deny it, or you can just try to improve position. That's typically what I do. But if the opponent starts to catch on to it, I'll switch things up and just go for a submission to lock it in and see the deny.
So here, notice I'm trying to just be a little bit more aggressive. I really try to rush in, and I'm getting caught for my troubles. It is very difficult to enter.
Tries to freaking perform a high crotch right there. I deny it.
Oof. And okay, and one thing they actually did well here with EA, but it needs to apply the more strikes. Y'all saw how I whiffed that slip rear hook counter, and it took way more time for me to get my defense up. It's because I committed all my weight to that, right? That should still apply whether I slip or not, and it should open up the counters for more people. Those are the type of solutions that are going to fix the striking in UFC 5. It wasn't even prevalent at all too much in UFC 4 unless your stamina was really low. But in this case, it's about having the forward momentum follow the laws of physics. Like, it needs to follow shit that happens in real life, because that is what helps players be able to do certain actions, right? That allows them to, continue to go forward, to continue to press, to continue to miss a strike, and their second strike comes out way faster. Those are the fixes, because even if you go and you tax the stamina to shit, right? Remember, if the guy's landing his strike, he's still going to be able to keep the majority of his stamina, right? Because he's landing accurately. You're just on defense and you're just showing up. It's not going to help you at all. However, if you're on defense and you're slipping and rolling, and then you see that the momentum's going here, it opens up more counters. And that's what EA needs to fix in order to make things work. I didn't like that right there. I thought I had timed that slippery hook counter well against the uppercut. Maybe I had done it too early. But I would also like the evasive frames on those type of shots to remain if my head is off the center line and my opponent is throwing a linear strike. So a couple things to think about right there.
For you to respect it. But, man, if you don't respect it and you get put in a submission, triangle, armbar, guillotine.
People, I tried doing the new check hook animation with RDA.
The whole entire fight. So, you got to be careful with being in somebody's guard now, man. Got to be absolutely careful. Right there, his cheek is cut. Pause. And you can see the eye icon right there show up. Like I said, it shows up when you get cut in areas of the face where bleeding is very easy, right? Where you bleed a lot, like your cheek, your eyebrows, your forehead. And now, every time I hit him on that side, it's actually going to do more damage. But he's doing a very good job of starting to pressure right now. You can feel the fight is kind of slipping away, so he's starting to increase the pressure, and I am starting to shoot on him. Like I'm trying to crash in a little bit.
As you should, because in real life we see guys like Connor, Nate. We see in general, like, fighters, when they see pressure and they see that their opponent is crashing into them with strikes, they usually have an ability to get into some type of clinch position. And I have been asking EA for over-under, like a manual input for over-under. There is no reason why we should not have a manual input for over-under, or at least have it be way more responsive and fluid when we're trying to enter the clinch and we successfully slip a strike, right? Because that's how you prevent pressure, right? If every single time you go combo crazy, the guy's crashing into you. We see this all the time in boxing, right? Floyd Mayweather's probably one of the best guys to do so. And it is just something that we need to do, especially if we have a grappler at hand. Now I'm starting to pressure a lot more. Trying to go high with the high kick. Because, dude, the jab of Charles Oliveira and the cross has been giving Artie a fit. And Henry's doing a good job of playing on the outside, too. Like, Charles has this nice little footwork buff there. I wanted to go for the little single. I tried to go for it. As well set up as I was, still don't end up getting it. And there's a couple things here. This is real good on defense. Oh, Lord. Y'all know, y'all felt that. Y'all felt that in your souls. And from right there, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm down. I am down. Like, I am down. Like, the round 3 was somewhat close, but he had definitely won round 2, and he's definitely up right now. So now I got to switch up the strategy, try to grapple. Tries to enter the trip. I go over to dominant single under, put him against the cage, and I use this opportunity to get to my takedown and bring him back down because I cannot afford to take more damage on that eye, right? You see how the timer has kind of gone away. It takes about 30 seconds or so, but even if he's landing on me on bottom, he can still attack that eye. So it's really important that if you are getting busted up on the feet, you need to go and take refuge on the ground. Don't give your opponent a crazy good reversal position so they can land more ground and pound, but you got to use this time to heal, chill, relax, and let the cut just kind of chill out. But he's doing a really good job with Charles Oliveira. He wanted me to go Islam Makhachev, but I was like, fuck it, let me go with RDA. Let me go with RDA. Because, like, fuck it, I like the challenge.
Better to just pull guard, get the opponent back in front of you. Even if you're on your back, it's better if they're in front of you as opposed to be behind you. Right there, he gets up again. Like I said, it brings me so much pleasure watching Romero run away from the guard. It is a nice feeling. I'm like, yes, run, sir, run. And trust me, I will be doing the same goddamn thing as I put him on his back right there.
The guard is no fucking joke, bro.
I would be doing the same damn thing.
The guard is no joke.
It is not unless you have a heel hook from close guard top, it's just a terrible place to be against somebody that knows what they're doing. You are at a major disadvantage.
Oof.
I get him into mount right there. Let's see what he does right here. I wonder if he went up. Let's see. I try to go for the arm triangle. Well denied. He is really, really camping on it right now. Like, he doesn't want me to get into another submission at all.
Oh, yeah, I can't afford it.
Which is very smart.
Can't afford it.
He attempts to get me into a Kimura.
Goes for the heel hook.
I enter this heel hook.
So let me tell you something. This is not like UFC 4 where, like, you could be like, all right, he enters a sub and you're fine. You can kind of wait out the timer. Like, he can still sub me right now if I get impatient. So he's doing the struggle mechanic because he has a stamina lead. And he tries to go for it, but it's a little bit too late. But he escaped. But look, the time, right? When you escape a submission or when you go for a submission, it gets denied. There's time in that animation. And that pretty much bought me time. So even though he denied a transition, I'm like, there's only 3-4 seconds left. If he had gone straight for the heel hook, I would have likely gotten subbed. But because I went for a transition and I knew he was going to probably try to deny it, that actually kept me safe from getting submitted at the end of the round. Like, you see RDA's face. He's like, whoo! Lord have mercy. So it's about that 5th round. Like, I know how I get in the 5th round.
But not enough time. I do love my heel hooks, man. I love my leg locks in this game.
Yes, he does.
Not enough time on that one. Yeah, that head kick he threw, and that one busted him open on the left side too. You see the cut open up. Watch this.
Beautiful.
No cut right there. Watch the cut. Boom. Right there. Face is nice and opened up. He's bleeding right there. I love watching that. No cut, you hit him and boom, you see it right.
It was funny because I was going bunk when we were watching that back and we were playing. We're like bunk.
We haven't opened ourselves up like a lot here, so the canvas is not nice and bloody just yet. But this is round number 5. Round number 5 right here. You know, you can see Romero is getting very serious. And right there, I'm like trying to like slip, and I'm just trying to be smarter. Usually, I'm so focused on, you know, damage and finishing the fight that I gotta try to be smarter. Right there, he rocks me though. Throws the hook into the uppercut. I try to take him down. He denies it.
Throwing that jab, no good.
Now he's trying to be more aggressive to try to use striking to maybe get me out of there. And I'm just like, okay, I need to respect him right now. Respect this. Backing up a little bit. Just looking for an opportunity to maybe see if I can drag him back down. If I could do that, something might open up.
Again, going back to the jab just out of range.
He cuts me. You see that? You see the icon open up right there. That tells me that my nose is busted. He drops me. So clearly he's winning this round right now. Clearly winning the round.
So, draws have been implemented in UFC 5. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no shot in hell I'm going to win this off of a 10-9. But I can try to force a draw. And in order for me to get a draw, I got to try to knock him down another time and keep the damage lead high. So I'm really trying, but he lands some good damage there. And he tries to go for that takedown. Once again, I deny it. This time I get the takedown myself. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to fuck around. He ends up trying to go for guard. Tries to go to sprawl. I'm like, I got 2 minutes left. I got to try to knock him down one more time.
Get to just back out and just get out of close guard. So it's a change I'm looking to see if they can, you know, if they can implement. When you posture up, the legs are still closed. You got to do something to open the guard before you can then get up. Because in real life, just posturing up, like I said, doesn't just get you away from closed guard. That's not the way it works.
Facts.
So
what happens when you have somebody that trains? He's talking about the grappling.
there, I believe he drops me one more time before the end of this round. Go for a head kick. Drops me one more time before the end of this round.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't know if Marshall got EA on this payroll. But that should have been a duck kick. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go for a head kick. You can see like a change in strategy, right? Like he knows right now that the path to victory at the moment is gonna have to be to try to knock me dead on the feet. And I'm pretty sure he was keeping track of like the scorecards, which I need to try to do that a lot more, right? Keep track of who's winning, who's losing. He rocks me again. I wonder if he dropped me right here.
Did I drop him again?
Overhand. Overhand again, probably he threw. I'm ducking it. I'm trying to like not get knocked down again, but I think he knocks right there. He knocks me down another time. Tries to finish. I think he made a mistake right there and threw an illegal shot.
It wasn't illegal. I landed at the body, yeah. So I tried to jump and finish, and I threw a leg kick. I was like, fuck. Oh, man.
And the fight is over. That was a good match, man.
It was. It was very good.
Very good fight. Really, yeah, I remember this matchup. It was fun. Like, I kind of beat myself up a little bit in some of those, just not being able to enter the submission system sooner. Like, that heel hook, man, I was fucking thirsty for that heel hook. It was like, man, let me get it, but the round was
Let me tell you something. So, obviously, you gotta know Marshall's name is Muay Thai Striker 2. I've been calling this motherfucker. He already made the account. But he's like, I've been telling you, you gotta be Jiu-Jitsu Grappler 2 now. And there was a point where this guy, my boy over here, like, didn't like grappling. Like, he was just a big striking guy. And I tell him, like, bro, you don't understand. Like, once you start grappling, then you understand certain things. And he's been doing jiu-jitsu for about 3 years now. And, like, now he's falling in love with, like, heel hooks and all that fun stuff. But he has a lot of good... He's able to pay attention to detail. And the big thing about that, too, is that being able to actually understand what's going on and not just looking at things at a surface value when we're trying to tell EA stuff, it helps out a lot. We also have like a black belt on the team as well, trying to help out too. But a lot of times certain people, they'll say things, but they have never really experienced something. So it's really cool that now that he's also begun to train, that he sees a lot of these little things, and that's what's going to help out with the seamless submissions. I want to see. There's a couple more things I personally want to see, and that's mainly because I'm a big dude when it comes to like scrambling and all that fun stuff, and especially with the takedowns. And it needs to be more liberal with being able to chain multiple takedowns together, because like he said, it's not too forgiving with the takedown denial. It's like the takedown denial overrides everything. Just like the move level doesn't really matter. It just depends on how much access you have to other turns and whatnot, and that needs to change. Like, it needs to change exponentially. That has to change. Like the GA, the move level, and being able to chain, and then just have it cost a little bit less for the requirement in order to chain takedowns or takedowns, because you see it in wrestling all the time. Like, you can just I go for say a sweep single, right? And then my opponent defends with a wizard. I don't just stop there and let him, I go and I put my knee in the front, pick up the leg, try to bring it up and try to finish back down on the mat, maybe back trip the leg or something. Or I can go, enter into a high crotch, switch off to a double. There's just so many things that wrestlers do at a high pace that needs to be able to be done in this game. In Undisputed 3, whereas the striking is not good, and the online gameplay, most of y'all did not play online. The only time I played online was when I first got into stuff, and I was playing at the GameStop, and they had like the ability to play people online and play right next to the person and whatnot. Like, online was like a mess on the ground because it was very exploitable. Offline, it's one of the best games with regards to the groundwork. And one thing that really felt emphatic with Undisputed 3 was the entry of the takedowns and the entry of the clinch. So even though they have the locomotion part down here in UFC 5, they don't really have the same emphatic feeling with the entries for the takedown, the range on the takedowns, and on the ground. I feel like we definitely need some more positions, right? And just kind of like the smoothness of the transitions is better in this game, but just a couple more transitions would go off a long way. But it's something I really want to see with the grappling in UFC 5, and the more that they can add, the better it can be. Because the foundation is great, the seamless submissions is great, TBS is solid, no more mini games, scrambles are possible, and all that other fun stuff. But we should not really settle for just this. We should be like, all right, cool, you guys listen to the community, you guys were able to remove the submission mini game and everything else of that nature, but we need to now continue to expand upon whatever we can do to make the ground game even more exciting. Because right now, because of how the GA is working and the speed of transitions in certain positions, it can still be really stally, and installing in positions where it really shouldn't be that stally. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say on that right there. I can say a lot more. That was good.
Boom.
That's something I liked right there. I whiffed the shot, right? So I whiffed the shot. Even though I got my block up, because of the damage and the cut on that side and the power of Oliveira, and because I whiffed so hard, my short-term stamina is low, so extra damage was able to bleed through. Because remember, this doesn't protect everything.
Really, really good replays. Let's listen and see who won this one.
It resides with the venerable Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 48-47.
48-47, yep.
By unanimous decision, Charles.
There we go. So, I am able to take this one by unanimous decision. Charles Oliveira. But yeah, man. Also, let me know if you guys want to see something against the AI, because that's probably what I might do next, to show you guys something against the AI. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, as always, leave a like. It always helps out the channel. And I'll see you guys later with a brand new one. As always, stay safe, boys.
Yeah, that 48-47. I was really trying to push for that 10-8 in round 5, but he landed a good amount of damage back to prevent the 10-8, because there needs to be a certain threshold with the damage in order to get a 10-8. And I'm trying to figure out what's the right threshold, and then when to play defense after I land the set threshold. But that's a pretty fun fight. Marshall did a fantastic job of showcasing Charles Oliveira. Hopefully you guys like the way that I was trying to showcase Rafael Dos Anjos. And, we might have some more fights coming for y'all. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here.